Welcome to a journey of transformation. As we step into 2025, this is your opportunity to take control of what truly matters, your mind, emotions, and actions. In a world filled with uncertainty and chaos, finding clarity and resilience may feel like a daunting task, but there is a timeless source of wisdom that offers practical tools to guide you. Today, we turn to Stoicism, a philosophy that has empowered some of history's greatest thinkers, including Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca. Their teachings are not just relics of the past, they are living strategies that can help you navigate modern life with purpose and strength. Stoicism focuses on mastering what is within your control, your thoughts, choices, and reactions, while learning to accept what is beyond it. This simple yet profound approach can transform how you face challenges, manage emotions, and find meaning in the present moment. It teaches you to embrace difficulties as opportunities for growth, align your actions with your values, and cultivate gratitude for what you have. Today, we'll explore 9 key principles of Stoicism, offering you a practical framework to thrive in any situation. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear blueprint for a life of resilience, clarity, and purpose, one that empowers you to face 2025 with confidence and calm. Let's dive in. Chapter 1. The Power of Control. Imagine you're out at sea, caught in the middle of a fierce storm. The waves are crashing, the wind howling, and the sky is dark and menacing. In this chaos, the temptation to panic is strong. The storm is powerful and unpredictable, and there's a sense of helplessness in the air. Yet there's one thing you can control: how you steer your ship. The storm rages on, but you remain calm, focused on keeping your ship on course. You can't control the wind, the waves, or the weather, but you can control the direction of your vessel. This is the essence of the first Stoic principle. Focus on what you can control. In life, just like in the storm, many things are beyond our influence. You can't dictate the actions of others, change the past, or predict the future. External events will unfold as they will, and much of what happens around us is beyond our grasp. However, we do have complete control over how we respond to these circumstances. We can control our thoughts, our actions, and our reactions to the events and people around us. The Stoics recognized that while we cannot control the external world, we can master our inner world, our perceptions, judgments, and decisions. This shift in focus from external circumstances to internal responses is what Stoicism offers us, a way to navigate life's storms with strength and clarity. In practical terms, this means accepting the reality that we can't control everything. When challenges arise, instead of reacting with frustration or anxiety, ask yourself, is this within my control? If the answer is no, then let it go. For example, you can't control someone else's behavior or the weather, but you can control how you respond to these things. If something is within your control, then act decisively and with purpose. Focus on the actions you can take and how you can move forward with intention, rather than wasting energy on what cannot be changed. This principle teaches us that the key to peace and resilience lies in distinguishing between what we can and cannot control. It's about letting go of unnecessary worry and focusing our energy on what truly matters, our own choices and responses. When we spend time worrying about things beyond our control, we rob ourselves of peace and clarity. But when we focus on what we can control, we empower ourselves to handle life's challenges with greater calm and confidence. In 2025, let this principle of control anchor you. When life's storms inevitably arise, remember that you cannot control everything, but you can control how you steer your ship. Ask yourself, is this within my control? If it is, take action. If it's not, let it go. Mastering this mindset will bring you a sense of peace amidst the chaos and a deeper sense of strength in the face of adversity. Life will continue to present challenges, but when you focus on what you can control, you'll navigate them with greater resilience and clarity. Chapter 2. Embrace discomfort. Growth begins at the edge of your comfort zone. We've all heard this phrase, but it's one of those truths that sounds simple, yet carries profound implications for how we live our lives. The Stoics understood this deeply and embraced discomfort as a tool for building mental toughness and resilience. They practiced what they called voluntary discomfort, deliberately putting themselves in uncomfortable situations to train their minds and bodies to endure hardship. This practice wasn't about seeking unnecessary suffering or self-punishment, but about conditioning themselves to be ready for the challenges life inevitably throws their way. It was about preparing themselves for adversity and learning to respond with composure and courage, rather than being overwhelmed by difficulty or discomfort. In today's world, we live in a society that is obsessed with comfort. From climate-controlled homes to easy access to entertainment and fast food, we've built an environment where physical and emotional discomfort is something to be avoided at all costs. While there's nothing wrong with enjoying comfort, the problem arises when we become so accustomed to it that we lose the ability to handle discomfort when it inevitably comes. We avoid challenges, shy away from difficult conversations, and retreat into the safety of routines that don't push us beyond our limits. But the Stoics understood that without discomfort, there can be no growth. Just as a muscle grows stronger by being pushed beyond its comfort zone, our resilience and character are strengthened when we willingly face difficult or uncomfortable situations. This doesn't mean that you should throw yourself into extreme discomfort for the sake of it. Rather, it's about intentionally seeking out small, manageable challenges that will stretch your limits and build your inner strength. For example, you might decide to skip a luxury for a day or a week, perhaps a favorite food or a comfortable routine. This simple act teaches you that you don't need to rely on external comforts to feel secure or happy. Another practice the Stoics embraced was taking cold showers. The discomfort of the cold water forces you to confront the natural urge to avoid discomfort and instead strengthens your ability to stay composed and focused under stress. It's a small act of defiance against the tendency to seek comfort at every turn, but it also serves as a reminder that discomfort is temporary and we have the ability to endure it. Taking on fears head-on is another powerful way to embrace discomfort. Fear often holds us back from reaching our full potential, keeping us stuck in the safety of what we know. The Stoics would regularly face their fears, whether it was the fear of failure, judgment, or loss. Instead of avoiding fear, they practiced confronting it. By doing so, they built a mindset that was less easily shaken by the unknown and more capable of facing adversity with courage. You don't have to take on your biggest fear right away. Start small by tackling something that makes you uncomfortable, maybe public speaking, starting a new project, or having an honest conversation with someone you've been avoiding. Each time you face your fears, you build a sense of confidence and resilience that will carry you through more significant challenges in the future. Discomfort isn't the enemy. In fact, it's one of our greatest teachers. It reveals our limitations and shows us where we can grow. It teaches us patience, perseverance, and the value of hard work. It reminds us that we are capable of more than we often believe. And perhaps most importantly, it teaches us that we can endure hardship without losing our composure. Life will always present discomfort, from the minor inconveniences to the major struggles. The key is not to avoid it, but to prepare for it by intentionally embracing discomfort in smaller, controlled ways. The more we practice this, the more we cultivate a mindset that is resilient and ready for whatever comes our way. This year, challenge yourself to embrace discomfort in some form. Skip a luxury, take cold showers, wake up earlier than usual, or tackle a fear that's been holding you back. These small acts of discomfort will build mental fortitude, increase your capacity to face challenges, and instill a sense of control over your life. The Stoics believed that by welcoming discomfort, we become more connected to our true strength. As you push past your comfort zone, you'll discover that discomfort isn't something to fear, but something to embrace, and it will prepare you for any hardship with courage and composure. Chapter 3, The Art of Perspective. Life is often less about what happens to us and more about how we interpret and frame those events. This central concept in Stoic philosophy teaches that events themselves aren't inherently good or bad. Instead, it's our perception of those events that gives them meaning. To the Stoics, external occurrences are neutral, and it's our internal judgment that creates our emotional responses. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, often reminded himself that his peace of mind depended not on external circumstances, but on how he responded to them. In life, we can't control everything, whether it's the actions of others, the unfolding of events, or the obstacles that appear before us, but we can control how we perceive and react to them. This ability to change how we see the world and its challenges is a powerful tool, and the Stoic practice of reframing is one way to gain that control. Reframing involves shifting our perspective, not to deny reality, but to reorient our understanding in a way that allows us to see opportunity instead of failure and growth instead of defeat. Consider a person who loses their job. For one individual, this event might be perceived as a catastrophe, something that brings despair, stress, and feelings of personal failure. For another, the same event could be reframed as an opportunity to explore new career paths, to develop new skills, or to finally pursue a passion that has long been on the back burner. The event itself, the job loss, remains unchanged, but the perspective of the two individuals varies dramatically. The first person might dwell in negativity, overwhelmed by fear and worry, while the second person can choose to embrace the situation as a stepping stone for personal growth. By shifting our view of the situation, we can change our emotional response and the course of our actions. This is the power of perspective. It can transform a setback into a new opportunity, an obstacle into a chance for growth. In 2025, adopting this Stoic principle of reframing can drastically alter how you approach life's challenges. When adversity strikes, instead of automatically reacting with frustration or confusion, take a moment to pause and ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Instead of thinking, why is this happening to me? Shift the question to, what does this challenge have to teach me? This simple yet profound change in mindset turns a potentially negative situation into a fertile ground for self-reflection and learning. Reframing challenges allows you to detach yourself from the emotional turbulence that often accompanies them. It helps you approach adversity with curiosity and an open mind, rather than fear or resistance. The Stoics recognize that life is full of difficulties and challenges that are beyond our control. However, how we view those difficulties is entirely within our control. By reframing hardship, we stop seeing ourselves as victims of circumstance and start seeing ourselves as active participants in our own development. Reframing doesn't require us to ignore the difficulties we face or pretend that everything is fine when it's not. Instead, it allows us to acknowledge the situation for what it is and choose to respond in a way that promotes growth, resilience, and learning. Every time we practice reframing, we strengthen our ability to cope with adversity and shift our perception from one of limitation to one of possibility. Instead of seeing a challenge as a threat, we begin to see it as an opportunity to build mental strength, to learn, and to grow. This practice doesn't mean that difficulties become easier, but it empowers us to handle them with more grace, clarity, and determination. Perspective is power. The Stoics understood this deeply, and by mastering the art of perspective, we can change our experience of life. Reframing allows us to turn setbacks into stepping stones, to transform obstacles into opportunities. In 2025, commit to practicing this principle. When life presents its inevitable challenges, pause, breathe, and ask, "What can I learn from this?" By embracing this mindset, you'll find yourself navigating life with a greater sense of resilience, adaptability, and strength. You'll not only survive life's storms, but thrive in them, turning adversity into an opportunity to grow and evolve. Chapter 4. Practice gratitude. Daily, gratitude has the power to transform the mundane into the extraordinary. It allows us to shift our focus from what is missing to what is already present, turning ordinary moments into sources of profound appreciation. In a world where we're constantly encouraged to pursue more, whether it's more success, more possessions, or more achievements, it's easy to forget the countless blessings already around us. The Stoics understood this well and practiced a form of gratitude that was rooted not in fleeting emotions, but in daily reflection and mindful acknowledgement of what they had. Instead of yearning for what they lacked, they focused on what was already within their control and what they could appreciate. In their view, true contentment was found not in acquiring more, but in recognizing the abundance already present in life. The practice of gratitude, as the Stoics taught, is a mindset shift. It isn't about pretending that life is perfect or ignoring the challenges we face, but about consciously choosing to recognize the good, even in the midst of difficulties. Every day offers opportunities to reflect on what we're thankful for, from the simplest things, like a hot meal or a kind word, to the more profound blessings like our health or the support of friends and family. By taking the time to reflect on these blessings, we reframe our experience of life, shifting from a mindset of scarcity to one of abundance. This shift in perspective is transformative, helping us move away from a focus on what we don't have and towards a deeper appreciation of what we do. Gratitude is more than just an emotion. It is a practice, a discipline that requires consistent effort. By taking a moment each day to pause and reflect on what we are thankful for, we create space for gratitude to become a natural part of our daily routine. This could be as simple as taking a few minutes in the morning or before bed to think about 3 things you appreciate. Over time, this practice begins to reshape our mindset. We become more attuned to the positive aspects of our lives and more aware of the blessings that surround us. The more we practice gratitude, the more we begin to notice and appreciate the small, everyday moments that bring us joy. The Stoics taught that the key to living a good life lies not in external circumstances, but in our internal responses. By practicing gratitude daily, we cultivate a resilient mindset that helps us respond to life's challenges with equanimity. When we face difficulties, gratitude doesn't make the problems disappear, but it allows us to shift our focus from what's wrong to what's right. Even in hardship, there is always something to be thankful for. It may be the opportunity to learn from adversity, the strength we gain from overcoming obstacles, or the support of others during tough times. Gratitude, then, becomes a tool for emotional resilience, helping us maintain a sense of peace and perspective even when life is difficult. In addition to fostering resilience, gratitude strengthens our relationships. When we express appreciation for others, whether through a kind word, a thoughtful gesture, or a simple thank you, we deepen our connections with them. Gratitude fosters goodwill and strengthens bonds, creating a cycle of positivity that benefits both the giver and the receiver. By regularly practicing gratitude, we create an environment of kindness and mutual support that enhances our sense of belonging and connection. In conclusion, gratitude is not just an emotion, It is a practice that can profoundly reshape our reality. By making gratitude a daily habit, we shift our focus from what's missing to what's present, from scarcity to abundance. This shift in perspective helps us cultivate greater peace, resilience, and joy, regardless of our external circumstances. In 2025, take the time each day to reflect on what you are thankful for. It doesn't have to be grand or extraordinary. Just a few moments of appreciation for the blessings, big and small, that surround you. With this practice, you will begin to see the world differently, noticing the beauty and richness of life that is already here. Chapter 5. Accept mortality. Accepting mortality is a fundamental Stoic practice, one that can radically change the way we approach life. It is a truth that many of us tend to avoid, preferring to focus on the distractions and comforts that keep us from confronting our own inevitable end. Yet for the Stoics, reflecting on mortality was not a morbid exercise, but a powerful and transformative practice. They understood that life's fleeting nature gives it meaning and urgency. The phrase memento mori, meaning remember you must die, serves as a daily reminder to acknowledge that our time is limited. Rather than evoking fear, this reminder instills a sense of purpose and urgency in how we live each day. In 2025, integrating this principle into your life can be a catalyst for growth and clarity. It's easy to get caught up in the mundane distractions of day-to-day life, but when we are reminded of our mortality, we are forced to re-evaluate what truly matters. Time becomes our most precious resource, and how we spend it takes on an entirely new significance. The Stoics taught that by contemplating our inevitable death, we come to realize how important it is to live intentionally. We are reminded not to waste time on trivial matters or to delay doing the things that are most meaningful to us. This practice encourages us to live with greater clarity and focus. When we recognize that life is finite, we are more likely to prioritize what is truly important: our relationships, our passions, and our personal growth. Mortality isn't something to fear. Rather, it's a motivating force that propels us to live more fully. Instead of postponing the things that matter, we are pushed to take action, to love deeply, and to make the most of each moment. The Stoics understood that the awareness of mortality sharpens our focus and deepens our appreciation for the present. It encourages us to savor life, not as a series of long years to be spent in passivity, but as a collection of moments that deserve our full attention and engagement. By accepting our mortality, we also learn to embrace impermanence. Everything in life, our successes, our failures, our joys, and our sorrows, will one day pass. This awareness allows us to approach life with a sense of detachment, knowing that nothing is permanent. The Stoics didn't mourn the passing of things. They understood that change is natural and that each moment is precious precisely because it will not last. This perspective allows us to cultivate gratitude for the time we do have, without clinging to things or people out of fear of loss. It encourages us to make the most of every opportunity, to love without holding back, and to pursue our dreams without delay. One of the most profound aspects of accepting mortality is the freedom it brings. When we are no longer paralyzed by the fear of death, we are free to live authentically. We stop worrying about the judgments of others, the failures we might face, or the things we cannot control. Instead, we focus on living in alignment with our values and priorities. Mortality gives us the clarity to understand what truly matters and the urgency to act on it. Incorporating the reminder of mortality into our daily lives doesn't have to be a somber or depressing task. Rather, it can be a source of empowerment. It's about living with purpose and intention, knowing that our time is limited and that we have the power to make it meaningful. The more we remind ourselves that life is short, the more we are inspired to live it to the fullest. This daily practice can deepen our appreciation for the people and experiences we hold dear, urging us to prioritize love, growth, and connection. In conclusion, accepting mortality is not about living in fear or despair. It's about embracing the preciousness of life. By reminding ourselves each day that our time is finite, we can transform the way we approach our lives. We can live with urgency, love with intensity, and focus on what truly matters. In 2025, let the awareness of your mortality guide you toward a life that is fully lived, deeply loved, and aligned with your true values. Chapter 6. Act with Purpose. Living with purpose is one of the most powerful principles taught by the Stoics. Every action we take should be a reflection of our highest values and the principles that guide us. The Stoics believed that a meaningful life is not one that simply happens by accident or in response to external circumstances, but one that is intentionally shaped by our choices and actions. Wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline were the core virtues that guided Stoic thought, and they believed that living in alignment with these virtues brings clarity, focus, and a sense of fulfillment. In 2025, it is time to stop drifting through life without direction or intention. Every day is an opportunity to make choices that align with who you want to be and the legacy you want to create. The first step in acting with purpose is to clearly define your values. What do you stand for? What virtues do you want to embody? These questions can be uncomfortable, but they are essential to understanding what truly matters to you. Values serve as a compass, guiding you through life's decisions and challenges. Once you have a clear sense of your core beliefs, it becomes easier to make choices that reflect them. For example, if you value integrity, you will prioritize honesty in your relationships and decision-making. If you value courage, you will take action even when it is difficult or uncomfortable. By aligning your actions with your values, you create a life that is congruent with your inner self, rather than one shaped by external pressures or fleeting desires. Setting clear goals is another crucial part of acting with purpose. Without goals, it's easy to wander through life without a sense of direction. The Stoics did not believe in aimless drifting. They encouraged us to set clear, actionable goals that reflect our values and contribute to our growth. These goals should not be rooted in external rewards or validation, but in the pursuit of personal excellence and virtue. Setting a goal to become more patient, more disciplined, or more compassionate is just as valuable as setting a goal to achieve career success or financial independence. The key is to ensure that your goals align with your deeper purpose and contribute to your long-term well-being, rather than just fleeting desires or material success. Once you've defined your values and set clear goals, the next step is to ensure that your daily actions reflect them. It's easy to get caught up in the busyness of life and lose sight of what truly matters. But the Stoics believed that every action, no matter how small, should be deliberate and in alignment with our values. This means being mindful of how you spend your time, energy, and resources. Each choice you make should contribute to the fulfillment of your goals and the embodiment of your values. For example, if one of your values is health, then making time for exercise, choosing nourishing foods, and prioritizing rest are all actions that reflect that value. If you value learning and growth, then dedicating time to reading, practicing new skills, and seeking knowledge are ways to live in alignment with that value. Living intentionally also requires us to exercise self-discipline. The Stoics understood that the path to living a purposeful life is not always easy. It requires us to make difficult choices and to resist distractions or temptations that steer us away from our goals. Self-discipline is the muscle that allows us to stay focused and committed to our values, even when faced with challenges. It means choosing long-term fulfillment over short-term gratification, and it requires the courage to stay true to our principles in the face of adversity. When we act with purpose, life becomes infused with meaning. Rather than drifting from one day to the next, we begin to see each moment as an opportunity to live in alignment with our values and to make progress toward our goals. This sense of purpose gives life direction and fuels our sense of fulfillment. It helps us stay motivated even when things get tough, because we know that each action is contributing to something greater than ourselves. A purposeful life is a life worth living, one that brings deep satisfaction and a sense of accomplishment. In conclusion, acting with purpose is about living intentionally, guided by our highest values and virtues. It requires us to set clear goals, make deliberate choices, and ensure that our daily actions reflect what truly matters to us. In 2025, commit to living a life of purpose. Define your values, set meaningful goals, and take intentional actions that reflect who you want to be. Purpose gives life meaning, and meaning fuels fulfillment. By living with purpose, you will not only create a life that is aligned with your inner self, but you will also find a deeper sense of peace, joy, and satisfaction in the process. Chapter 7. Master Emotional Resilience. Emotions such as anger, fear, and sadness are an inevitable part of the human experience. They arise in response to external events and our internal perceptions of those events. While we cannot always control when or how emotions arise, we do have control over how we respond to them. The Stoics understood this dynamic and believed that true emotional resilience comes from learning to observe and manage our emotions, rather than allowing them to dominate our actions. In 2025, cultivating emotional resilience is an essential practice that can empower us to navigate life's challenges with clarity, purpose, and composure. The Stoic approach to emotions is centered on the idea of detachment, not in the sense of being indifferent, but rather in the ability to step back and observe our emotional reactions without being overwhelmed by them. Instead of reacting impulsively when anger, fear, or sadness arise, we are encouraged to pause, take a deep breath, and reflect on the situation. This practice of mindfulness helps us create the space needed to respond thoughtfully rather than acting on our initial emotional impulses, which are often knee-jerk reactions that can escalate situations or lead to regret. One powerful question to ask ourselves when emotions surge is this reaction helping me? This simple inquiry forces us to assess whether our emotional response is serving us or whether it is clouding our judgment. When faced with anger, for example, asking this question helps us pause before reacting in a way that could damage relationships or escalate conflict. Instead of immediately lashing out, we can choose to express our anger in a measured and constructive way, or even let it pass without acting on it at all. Similarly, when fear arises, we can ask whether it is a rational fear that requires caution or an irrational fear that is holding us back from taking necessary action. By shifting our focus from reaction to thoughtful consideration, we begin to act with intention rather than out of reflex. Emotional resilience is not about suppressing emotions or pretending they don't exist. On the contrary, it is about fully experiencing our emotions without letting them dictate our actions. The Stoics recognize that emotions are a natural response to the challenges we face, but they also believed that we have the power to choose how to engage with them. By practicing emotional resilience, we learn to navigate our feelings with wisdom and balance. We acknowledge our emotions, but we don't let them control us. This mastery over our emotional responses is what allows us to maintain our equilibrium in the face of life's difficulties. Building emotional resilience requires consistent practice. It begins by observing our emotions without judgment, simply noticing when they arise and how they manifest in our thoughts and behaviors. Once we become more aware of our emotional patterns, we can start to create a gap between the trigger and our response. This gap allows us to reflect, breathe, and choose a response that aligns with our values and goals. Over time, this practice strengthens our ability to manage emotions effectively, turning emotional turbulence into an opportunity for growth and self-awareness. In 2025, emotional resilience will be an invaluable tool for facing the inevitable ups and downs of life. When challenges arise, instead of reacting impulsively, we can pause, reflect, and respond with thoughtfulness and clarity. Whether it's dealing with a difficult person, a setback at work, or a personal loss, mastering our emotions empowers us to navigate those situations with greater calm and control. Rather than being driven by momentary emotions, we can choose actions that are aligned with our long-term well-being and values. In conclusion, mastering emotional resilience is about learning to manage our emotional responses rather than allowing them to control us. By practicing mindfulness, pausing to breathe, and asking ourselves if our reactions are helping us, we can transform impulsivity into thoughtful action. This approach doesn't mean suppressing emotions. It means developing the ability to experience them fully and respond with intentionality. By mastering emotional resilience, we can face life's challenges with greater composure and confidence, turning emotional adversity into an opportunity for growth and self-mastery. Chapter 8. Seek wisdom relentlessly. For the Stoics, wisdom was considered the highest virtue, the key to living a life of purpose and virtue. It wasn't just about accumulating knowledge, but about cultivating an understanding of the world and oneself, and applying that understanding to live well. Wisdom was the foundation upon which the Stoics built their lives, guiding their decisions, actions, and responses to adversity. In 2025, seeking wisdom relentlessly can become a transformative practice that empowers you to navigate life with clarity, resilience, and a deep sense of purpose. To embrace the Stoic approach to wisdom, it is essential to adopt the mindset of a lifelong student. The pursuit of wisdom is not confined to a particular phase of life. It is a continuous process that requires humility, curiosity, and a commitment to learning. This year, make a conscious effort to engage in learning every day. Read widely. Don't limit yourself to just one genre, field, or philosophy. Expand your horizons by exploring diverse perspectives, whether through literature, history, science, or philosophy. Each source of knowledge offers unique insights that can deepen your understanding of the world, human nature, and the principles that guide a good life. However, seeking wisdom is not just about passive consumption of information. It requires active engagement and reflection. The Stoics encourage deep questioning of everything, especially of one's beliefs and assumptions. When you encounter new ideas, don't simply accept them at face value. Challenge them. Ask yourself, why do I believe this? What evidence supports this? How does this align with my values? This process of critical inquiry enables you to refine your understanding, discard false beliefs, and come closer to the truth. By questioning deeply, you foster intellectual growth and develop the ability to think independently and critically, key components of wisdom. Additionally, the Stoics believed that every experience, whether positive or negative, carries valuable lessons. Seeking wisdom relentlessly means learning from all of life's circumstances, not just from books or intellectual pursuits. Life presents countless opportunities for growth, but often we overlook the lessons hidden within our failures and setbacks. Each challenge is an opportunity to practice virtue, to develop resilience, patience, and self-discipline. By reflecting on your experiences and extracting wisdom from them, you turn everyday moments into lessons that shape your character and understanding. Surrounding yourself with mentors is another critical aspect of the Stoic path to wisdom. Mentors, whether they are real people you interact with or individuals whose work you engage with through books, podcasts, or lectures, provide invaluable guidance and perspective. The Stoics themselves learned from great philosophers and thinkers, and this tradition of mentorship is central to their philosophy. By seeking out those who challenge your thinking, expand your horizons, and offer wisdom from their own experiences, you accelerate your own journey of self-improvement. A mentor can offer insight into areas where you may lack understanding, helping you avoid common pitfalls and providing wisdom from their own path. In addition to seeking mentorship from others, the Stoics emphasize the importance of seeking truth in all that you do. Wisdom is not just about acquiring knowledge for its own sake. It is about aligning your life with truth, integrity, and virtue. In your pursuit of wisdom, focus on seeking the truth in every area of life, even when it's uncomfortable or inconvenient. The truth often requires sacrifices, whether it's the willingness to face uncomfortable realities, confront your own biases, or make difficult decisions. But seeking truth is an essential part of wisdom, for it empowers you to make choices that align with your highest values. In summary, the Stoic pursuit of wisdom is a lifelong journey that requires a deep commitment to learning, questioning, and self-reflection. By reading widely, questioning deeply, and learning from every experience, you cultivate the wisdom necessary to navigate life with clarity, purpose, and resilience. Surrounding yourself with mentors, whether through personal relationships or the work of others, can further accelerate your growth and deepen your understanding. Wisdom is not just a theoretical pursuit. It is a practical tool that shapes the way you live, make decisions, and respond to challenges. In 2025, make the pursuit of wisdom your guiding principle, and you'll find that it fuels your personal growth, enhances your life's purpose, and ultimately leads to lasting transformation. Chapter 9. Serve others selflessly. The Stoic principle of serving others selflessly is one of the most powerful and transformative aspects of their philosophy. The Stoics believed that the path to true fulfillment and inner peace isn't found in the pursuit of personal gain, but in dedicating one's life to the welfare of others. For Stoic thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca, service to others was not just a noble endeavor. It was an essential part of living a virtuous life. In 2025, as we navigate an increasingly complex and fast-paced world, this principle holds immense relevance. By focusing on contributing to the greater good, we shift our priorities from self-interest to collective well-being, which ultimately leads to deeper satisfaction and fulfillment. The Stoics saw humans as inherently social creatures, interconnected with one another. They believed that our happiness and sense of purpose are intertwined with the lives of others. In this way, service to others becomes a way of fulfilling our natural role in society. It's easy to get caught up in our individual aspirations and personal challenges. But the Stoics taught that true peace comes when we widen our perspective and focus on how we can help those around us. In 2025, consider how you can contribute to your community, support those in need, and engage in meaningful acts of kindness. Service doesn't always have to take the form of grand gestures or major charitable acts. Sometimes it can be as simple as lending an ear to a friend, offering a helping hand, or sharing your knowledge and skills with those who can benefit from them. The beauty of serving others lies in the reciprocal nature of the act. When we help others, we don't just improve their lives, we also enrich our own. The Stoics understood that the pursuit of virtue, such as wisdom, courage, and justice, was deeply connected to our relationships with others. By serving selflessly, we cultivate these virtues and experience a profound sense of fulfillment. In fact, helping others has the potential to elevate us, not only by making a positive impact on the lives of others, but also by strengthening our own character. This sense of purpose and fulfillment comes from acting in alignment with our highest values, transcending the pursuit of personal gain and contributing to the well-being of others. Service to others also reflects the Stoic concept of sympathy, the understanding that all humans are part of a larger whole. The Stoics believed that each of us plays a unique role in the grand scheme of life, and that our actions affect the greater good. When we serve others, we contribute to the greater harmony of the world. This doesn't mean sacrificing ourselves or neglecting our own well-being. Rather, it's about recognizing the interconnectedness of all people and acting in ways that uplift and support others. By focusing on service, we are reminded that our lives are not separate from those around us, but are part of a collective experience. Helping others rise doesn't just benefit them, it benefits the entire community, including ourselves. In 2025, think about how you can contribute to the common good in both big and small ways, whether through volunteer work, mentoring, supporting local causes, or simply being a positive influence in your personal relationships. Every act of kindness matters. The Stoics believed that when we serve others, we also serve ourselves, because it is through the act of giving that we cultivate a sense of purpose, gratitude, and inner peace. By making service a part of your daily life, you create a life that is not just about personal achievement, but about making a meaningful difference in the world. Ultimately, serving others selflessly is a pathway to true fulfillment and transformation. It's about shifting our focus from individual gain to collective well-being, recognizing that our lives have more meaning when we contribute to something larger than ourselves. In 2025, embrace this Stoic principle and seek ways to serve your community, uplift others, and leave the world better than you found it. As you help others rise, you will find that you too will rise, both in your character and in your sense of purpose. The Stoics understood that true greatness lies not in what we acquire, but in what we give. By living with this mindset, you can create a life of deep satisfaction, connection, and meaning. Transformation begins today. The 9 Stoic principles we've explored aren't just abstract ideas, they are practical actions you can take right now to shape your life. So, which principle will you begin with today? Whether it's focusing on what you can control, embracing discomfort, or serving others selflessly, each action is a step toward personal growth and resilience. Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. We're building a community of like-minded individuals committed to growth and purpose. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more life-changing content, and share it with someone who could benefit. Remember, you have the power to turn 2025 into a year of progress, purpose, and peace. Take the first step now and live with intention. Until next time, live wisely and embrace the journey ahead.